All right. I look crazy. Okay. On my 2 little off days, I've been sick. I'm so upset about that. I ain't did nothing. I mean, literally, I've been in this room, in this bed, from here to the restroom, maybe downstairs to make some soup. That's about it. Okay. You want me to say my version? Okay. Humility is one's ability to lovingly correct oneself, to patiently correct others, and to seek vigorously. I'm sorry. Seek and receive vigorously um, correction without malice or attitude or ego. Okay. Oh, so okay. So you can hear me? I'm trying to figure out where the fuck the mic is on here so I can put this phone close to it. You said what? Oh yeah, I can't hear you. What you say? Okay. Can you hear it? Okay. Well, me personally, my biggest thing during humility was, I guess, similar to yours. Um, I was told that I see a lot of stuff, but I mention it like passive aggressively instead of just coming out saying it. Like somebody might be late or somebody might not come to a ritual. And when I see him, I don't just call him on it like, "Hey, you weren't at ritual." I just be like, "Well, it's like you were busy yesterday." You know what I'm saying? But Baba Olu and Elder Naila, but mostly Baba Olu was like really on me about correcting others because I see it, and the whole receiving correction without malice or attitude. The reason I put ego in mine because it used to be a real struggle for me to correct, you know, or receive correction rather, without feeling like it was a personal jab at me, or somebody didn't like me, or I had to get to a place where I realized that the only people that was offering me that type of correction were people who cared about me. So you said what?
I was making sure.
You said what?
I was making sure that you could hear me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
A perceiving question for me is like, I don't know if I would see the bad version. I don't know. About
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was making question.
So sorry. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was just like. That's a really good thing when someone says, you really be the best. Like, even if someone said it to me, I was still doing this person in the moment. So, like, I wouldn't necessarily show it, but definitely and I don't think I just don't think it's a problem. Uh, trying to people say, well, that is a problem. It's something I should think about changing, but I don't even know how to go about changing. How do you change things? Just care more?
Are you asking me how do you change your like how you receive it?
Well, this specifically, like, how do you change things to make it right? That's one of the things that I've been, that's been pointed out to me. Be very dismissive
Of correction?
of correction, of anything, really. Like, it's something that I'm not interested in.
I
It's
think
something I doesn't
I think the way that you change that is by believing that what people are saying can actually help you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what you mean by dismissive. I think and that might have been part of my problem too, because people say stuff to me and I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, great, thanks. No, I'm not. I don't really care what you just said, and I'm not doing it. But it got to a point where you have to just realize you have to believe number one that they're your elders, that they are equipped to give you wisdom, advice, or whatever it is, and you really take it. Because people that we've known all our lives that were really good friends and gave really great advice. When they tell us something, we receive it with no problem. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's like that comes from walking with somebody. I remember Baba Omotosho gave a lesson one time about if you're gonna correct people, you have to affirm them just as much as you correct them. So like it was definitely certain people in the house who I felt like were just coming at me so much where I didn't really feel like it was correction more than like a critique. Like with like Baba Olu, right? He been there for me through so much stuff and affirmed me on so many different things that when he do come to me and tell me that this is a problem or that is a problem or try to correct me on something, I can totally hear it. Like that's probably one of the only people that I can be honest to God and totally hear whatever he say. Like, and I've even heard it from like people like Osizwe Umi Mau, Bob Omatosho, who said to me, I said that, and you couldn't hear it, but Bob Olu said it, and now you want to move on it? Like, I don't know.
because Baba Olo and I did not have a great relationship at all. I mean, I think that we respect one another, I respect one another Baba. Um, I was trying to see if you can hear me.
Oh, yeah, no.
What's up? Like, our relationship is very strange. I never felt like he liked me.
Mm.
Um,
Oh.
even when he was pushing us around, he said like he was very proud of me, but I just didn't know where that was coming from. Like we hadn't really walked, we don't really talk. We see each other, we greet each other, and that's basically it. Like I don't know, it felt like there was something about me that he didn't necessarily care for. Because like he would be fine with my like a couple of my other siblings. So I just never felt like connected in any kind of way.
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just a weird situation. So I feel like everybody has their own relationship with everybody. So like, I felt that way, or should I say, my journey felt that way about Baba Omatosho. Like, when we talk about it, when we get together, sometimes we feel like nobody really fucked with us when we journey. Like, whereas the house is supposed to focus on the Zerutu, people didn't walk with us. People didn't fuck with us. Like, we barely heard from Bob on Matosho, saw him, anything. Probably like maybe twice throughout our whole journey, he walked with us at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, in Jamile, we didn't see her till crossing season. It was a lot of that for us, I think. I don't know, like sometimes we used to refer to ourselves as like the stepchild journey. Like nobody, like every journey since then and before then that we saw that we were here for, it seemed like the house was around that Zerutu journey. Then during our Zerutu journey, I think they were really then trying to figure out the situation with the kids because they were doing that next. So we feel, or should I'm just speaking for me. I feel like it was certain points in the journey where we weren't really, uh, I don't know, we just wasn't really feeling like the center of the house. We felt like outsiders throughout the whole thing, or at least I did. And I mean, the one connection that I did have was Baba Olu, but I mean, I don't know. I think the same way you connected with Baba and he walk with you and you go to his house and you talk to him, like that's not everybody's connection with Baba. You know what I'm saying? I think I don't want to say it's like people had their favorites, but I think unfortunately that's really what it comes down to. People have preferences of who they prefer to have around them, whether they be elders or other people. And I remember Baba had said one time that the that an elder, you should know that they prefer you or not. You know what I'm saying? Or you should feel like the elder prefers everybody. It's not like that though. So when you say you and Baba Omatosho, I mean Baba Olu didn't have a really good relationship, or you felt like he didn't like you, that's not surprising to me because I felt like Baba Omatosho didn't like me. I mean, I'm not gonna say I still feel like that sometimes, but I kind of got over it. Like I said something to Iabode, like when we first went into the wilderness. I had said something to her to the effect of like, we don't fuck with Baba Motosho. She was all like, no, he the reason you here. I said, not the reason I'm here. Like, I never saw him on my journey. I never talked to him. And she was like, well, Olamaroti, he walked with us a lot. I believe that. So your relationship with him will be definitely different than mine. The people, like, when people come and journey, I feel like they see Baba Motosho as the house, right? But as your journey evolves, or for me, I see Baba Olu as the house. Like, that's who. Yeah, I don't have that connection with Baba Motosho, and it's cool. I think I've gotten to the point now where it's okay because everybody don't have the type of connection I got with Baba Olu. You know what I'm saying? Some people have that type of connection with Elder Anela that I don't have. But I think that too is the job of the elders too. You have to connect. Although I think their ultimate goal is to connect with everybody in an intimate way. But we're human. And people have to remember that elders are human, Babas and Umis are human. So they can't just, it's not at a place where it's working yet. I put it that way.
I'm thinking like, well, I guess my question would be like, who did you, as a Zerutu, who did you seek? Like, which elders did you seek, and do you have strong relationships with the people that you sought versus the people that you thought were supposed to seek
you? In Zerutu, who did I seek? I focused on the main people that I was supposed to seek, which were my siblings, my Fundi, and my GEs. And outside of that, I thought that not everybody else, but other people were to seek us, right? Like with the Zerutu right now that's about to cross. I feel like I made an effort to go to them and walk with them. But that's what they needed for me to do because of the fact that they didn't know to seek me. You feel what I'm saying? If I don't come to them and at least engage with them my gift or talk to them about their situation or their journey, they're not going to come to me and seek me because they don't know to seek me. Because when you journey and they tell you to seek your GEs, to seek your siblings, and to seek your Fundi. Now, mind you, throughout my first journey, I sought everybody. Like, I spent a lot of time with Elder BT. I spent a lot of time with I can't think of her name right now. It's Ifa. I feel like it's Ifa, not Ife. Yeah, she had long dreads, and she went to Emory. Never mind. Yeah, but anyway, it was a lot of people that I saw that I guess are no longer here. But during my Zerutu journey this time, I really was just trying to focus on those three: my siblings, my GEs, and my Fundi. I did try to, hit people up outside of that, but it seemed like everybody had their own lives and that they were too busy. And I'm saying this to say, like, even Baba Omotosho, like, I called him. I would, try to stop by his house and, but, I don't know. I think I'm just a different person. For me, some people like to go to Baba Olu's house and sit there quietly and read while he work all day, right? And he likes people that will do that. I'm not that person. Like, I can't. I'm trying. Yeah, I can get something from you by sitting here quietly for 5 hours while you work on your paper. But I can also get something from you if we have a conversation. So, and for me, I can get what I need from you quicker if we have a conversation about it rather than me just sit here and watch you in silence. And And I guess that's probably what helped with Baba Olu, with him being a counselor. I was able to talk. You know what I'm saying? So, mm, I'm trying to think of other people. And at the time, I wasn't aware of anything about Binta going to be my foodie once I crossed. But I tried to walk with her, and she would be like, "Oh, you can come over." But I would come over, and she would be, doing her motherly thing, doing her duties as a wife. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that equal to her really not having time, because I'm trying to talk to you about something I'm either going through, something I feel like is serious, or you know what I'm saying, and you really can't. Oh, hold on one second. Like in the middle of, I can't deal with that. Like if I'm talking to you about something really deep to me or really serious, and every 5 words you need to cut me off so that you can go and do something, then I'm more so like, hey, well, just hit me up when you got time to talk, because I can't I can't function like that. But
But I think what I was that at times we're trying to be vulnerable, um, especially especially that there were places where it felt like you know, we're trying to be vulnerable, um, and that in order for you to be vulnerable, there was a level of almost like undivided attention that you needed to come to, where I think
mhm.
um, so then the question that I would have is how well do vulnerability control? Like why an undivided attention time or go there? Can you go there in front of the house? Can you place in front of the house and just talk about like say like there's a like completely being involved in something or something you not like able to do or would you like never
You said what now?
how vulnerable are you willing to be with people uh, when when the situation doesn't necessarily make you feel comfortable?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I can't. It's I think that maybe from childhood stuff, but I'm trying to get over it. But in my household, growing up, um, being vulnerable was not really looked at as a plus, and you could say something to somebody and have it brought up in front of everybody over dinner. Uh, so I definitely need a certain comfort level in order to go there. But once I do go there, even if even with my gift project, were you there for that? Okay. With my gift project, I had to speak about the children at the end of it, right? And I began to cry and all that stuff. But the thing about that is, once I'm there, I can go on and on and on. But it take a lot for me to get there to a level of feeling comfortable enough to even discuss it. And as far as people, like I said, I guess that's why the situation with Baba Omatosha, I mean Baba Olu, is because he was, when, and I was able to say to him, but I try to be very clear about that. Like I've said it to Omatosha, I've said it to Cheseret, I've said it to Bahati, I've said it to a lot of people, right? Um, hey, I want to talk to you about something. Um, when are you free? When can we sit down and talk? Now what Bob Matosha. That fool will tell you to come to his office at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and everybody and their mama in there. And I can't really walk with you about what I'm trying to walk with you on, and then when you like, oh, okay, well, let's go for a walk, and we go outside of his office, it's like he wants you to, whatever it is, it needs to happen, or you need to say it in the next 2 minutes, because he actually really don't even have this time he's giving you. He about to walk back into the office. I can't. It doesn't work for me, and so I think that's why me and his relationship has never been um, super tight like that. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of over it because I think my relationship is super tight with Baba Olu, so I really don't really need to be super tight with Baba Omatosho. I feel like if everyone has a really good personal relationship with one of the Babas or Umis, then you should be pretty good.
You know, what was what were you pressed on during your journey?
As far as my own individual shit,
You
um, seeking and and forgiveness.
so the thing that I was pressed on mostly was vulnerability. And being able to be vulnerable uh, without needing to take time to be comfortable with people, just to whatever I'm dealing with, whether I think it's something heavy or not, to just share it and let the cards fall where they may. Because the truth of the matter is, whatever you are dealing with, if you're in a group of people that you are not comfortable with, may not only help you, but it will help people around you. And they may also be able to give you a certain level of perspective, a level of sight, if you are willing to just lay it all out there. And so I think one of the things that you may need to focus on in this season is practicing vulnerability every day. Because that's the only way that you're going to be able to get to a place where things won't be so heavy. Like circumstances won't be so heavy. And to not look at circumstances as a bad thing, or whatever you're doing, as a bad thing, just as something I'm dealing with and something I need to work through. And the longer that I keep saying, well, I need to talk to you, and it doesn't happen, which means I miss a whole week and I'm carrying this thing for a whole week. Now I've been carrying this heavy burden for a whole week, and I've still not gotten any help.
See,
So,
I think with that's kind of different because I'm not saying that I'm not vulnerable with people. I'm just saying I'm not vulnerable with certain people in public situations. So like, um, vulnerability wasn't my struggle. Like, especially amongst my siblings and my GE. So like, anything that you wanted to know, or even anybody else rather, if you want to know and you had time for me or time to talk, you could know anything about me. Like I was so open about shit. Like not at all. That's not a problem at all. Like so I think that's one thing I think why vulnerability wasn't my struggle. The whole part about being vulnerable within a 2 minute span, maybe that's something I need to work on. I don't think vulnerability though is really because I'm not that person that's gonna carry shit for a weekend. I tell you, if I ask you to talk about it on Friday, I will find somebody else to talk about it with. And once Monday come and you like, oh, then you want to tell me something, I'm like, oh no, I'm good. I definitely have a problem with that where I put people in categories. So like a Dande and a Chuanike, right? I can call them and talk to them about anything. So when something happens or something go down or I find something out, oh, I'm calling. That's kind of why I think it's been a sort of a strain on me and Adande's relationship because we haven't talked like we used to. And that was definitely that person that I told everything to, and I called first. She still is the person I called first. She just don't answer no more. But yeah, I don't think. Yeah, vulnerability is just. I think vulnerability about around the whole picking and choosing. I think that's the issue for me. because I'm vulnerable with people, but I'm not vulnerable with everybody, especially people that I felt like played me before. I don't even want to say played me, but like kind of left me hanging. I don't even know how to say it, but like let's say I tried to come to you and be vulnerable before, and I felt like you couldn't receive it. Then in my mind, what I do is I say, okay, this person's not for that. So when I have an issue or a problem, I'm not calling those people. I'm calling X, Y, and Z. And if I can't hear from them or then I'll wait and call them again. Like with the situation with Binta, supposed to be my Fundi, I do not trust her. I do not talk to her. I do not feel like she's my Fundi. And it was so weird. Somebody said to me, because they was at my gift project, and it was like, number one, Binta came late. And it was like near the end of the gift project, and they was like, "Oh, Binta, go stand behind her, or whatever, and all this and that." And somebody was like, "It seemed like when she came over there to stand with you, you got more tense." And I did. Like, I was kind of like, "What the fuck are you even? Why are you here? Like, why are you?" Mm-hmm.
And that's your authority. So my question is, why hasn't she been able to have that conversation with her, or hasn't been able to have that conversation with her?
But see, that's the thing. To me, that's not my Fundi. Monet Shanaka is my Fundi. And the fucked up part is, I still call Monet to tell her about shit that's going on here.
There's nothing wrong with that. But if the house has given you an infobia, you should be able to do both things.
I know, and I'm telling you, I definitely tried. It was like I'm saying, I'm literally telling you everything. Like I was going over Binta's house, trying to spend the night, all kind of shit. Like I just can't. And then she just got too much going on. Now she got those extra kids. You wouldn't believe. Like if I wasn't underground, I probably still wouldn't have heard from her right now. That's how it is. Like literally. Like when they gave me her as a Fundi, you know, she was like, "Yeah, we should walk," and it was always, "Come over my house, come over my house, come over my house." And I was like, you know, that's cool, but why don't you come over my house where ain't no kids at, ain't no people at? We can really talk on some one-on-one, get to know. I don't know you. Like I didn't walk. It ain't like I walked with her throughout my journey. I would have been better off with Mwenda as my Fundi.
I think that you're missing something. As a fully initiated relationship, yes, the fully should take the initiative, yes. But it is still on the job of the initiative to take their fully if there's something that they think they need from their fully. Well, not that even think they need, because you've been given a fully, there is something the fully has for you. And so your job, regardless of what it is or not, is to find out what that is by seeking them as often as you can in order to figure out what it is that you're supposed to get from them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm telling you, I felt like I seeked her. I mean, to the point where I've said something to Baba Olu about needing a new Fundi. And it was like, but we know we gave you Binta. I know. I don't think Binta has time to Fundi. I'm being honest. Like, it is what I said to Baba Olu. He was like, Iba Remy, you really got it. I said, I done been over there. I've spent the night. I've hung out with her. I'll continue to try to hang out with her. And even in our dealings and our hanging outs, I think, okay, one time we went to the movies, me and her.
Mm-hmm. That's not a good place to connect. Go ahead.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. She was like, I like movies. I want to go to the movies. Why don't you come with me to the movies? I say, okay, I'll go with you to the movie. But like you said, it's not a good place to connect. We didn't talk. There was nothing to talk about. We was watching a movie. The movie was good. But then we left, and then she had to go do her mother thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it was more so about what she wanted to do and what she liked. Like, to this, like, I'm telling you, up until I have not heard from her. Like, I would call her, and continuously call her and call her and call her and call her. And I remember going over her house one day, and I was sitting there chilling with her, and her phone rang, and I was like, your phone ringing? She was like, oh, I'm at home. And whoever it is, if they want to talk to me, they can come over. damn, I gotta come over every time I want to see you or talk to you. I don't have gas like that. I don't have a job like that. So when I call you, I fucking expect you to answer the phone. What kind of shit is that? And that just, in my mind, I'm just thinking like, so that's how you do. Your phone ring and you don't fucking answer it. Because in your mind, you're thinking, whoever it is, they know I'm at home, they can just come over. I'm good. And I called her after that and with no response. And then she would call me and be like, hey, I saw you call. I've been meaning to call you back. But right now I'm about to go to work. So I'm going to try to hit you when I get off, or you can come by the house later. Bye. Like, that's it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have it. I asked for it. I prayed about it. I just don't have it. Because I just don't have it. Like, I need you to it gotta be like a mutual thing. Like, I can't call you 1,000 times for you to call me once, and then it look like I'm not seeking you.
It just seems like there's some piece missing. Like something. If you've been over there, if you spent the night, if you've been in her space and you still don't feel like okay, so what happened when you say like when you went over there? I know she has children, and I know that y'all probably can't. She can't give you her undivided attention.
Never.
But the time that you're. But do you need that? Is that something that you need?
Yes. Yes. Like, I used to go to Monet house, even though she was with Ola Remy, she would be like, you want to talk to me about just me and you? And I'd be like, hell yeah. Like, no offense, Ola Remy, And she'd be like, all right, let's go. And we just ride around and talk. Or we go outside and walk down the street and talk. I don't need 5 to 7 hours, but I could use a good 10 minutes, though. Damn. Like, I mean, coming over her house, Beans' house, she's always stressed out. Like, she'd be like, oh, come up to my room. Okay, I go to her room. She's like, oh, I'm working. So she'd be working and trying to talk. So she would continuously miss sentences that I'm saying. And then ask me to repeat myself. And that's quite annoying. And then I would say stuff like, well, I could wait until you're done with your meeting. Because she'll be on like a conference call meeting, but her phone will be muted. And she try to have a conversation with me. But you really try to listen to this because this is your job. So why don't we just postpone this conversation for when you're not on your job conversation? But it would be like, oh, well, as soon as I get done with this, I gotta go pick up the boys. I gotta do this. Why don't you come back over? Okay, I come back over. Oh, I'm so tired. I need to go lay down. Like, even the night I spent the night, I was up most of the night with Okafanus. And it wasn't just him. It was Oak, and then these two girls. I ain't gonna say these two girls. I know this girl. Adanye. And another one, the little girl, I think her name was Erica or something like that. And then Tafase came over at like 3 in the morning. Like, and then he snored all night. Honey, it was the worst situation ever in life. Worst situation ever in life that I spent the night at somebody's house. I mean, I think it's cool that their house is like open to everybody and anybody at all times. But yeah, that's not my life. That's not what I need for my fundi. And I don't know what it is I need. And then I think we can talk about this. Like, it's funny. When I journeyed with the Lebechi, Safia, Binta, and Gugui, and Elder Azize, they were the GEs. It was 4 GEs for that journey. The only person that out of them 4 people that I talked to or had a relationship with was Elder Azize, and a small relationship with Elder Safia. And that was only because her and Umi Maud were roommates. And Umi Maud, I used to walk with her a lot. But Binta didn't talk to me when I was journeying under her. I didn't have a relationship when I was journeying under her. I didn't trust her then. I don't trust her now. I think for me, it definitely, my seeking it definitely highlights or not the people I trust and are close to me and the ones who are not. And I don't know if the relationship me and Binta have has anything to do with when I first journeyed with the Lebechi, or if it's hindering us from how I journey with Lebechi, or what. I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. I'm open to that being an issue, or maybe, but I mean, like, I don't have no ill. Like, I just don't fuck with her like that.
Yeah, something is definitely, I think should be addressed when we get back, but that's, it's troubling. Because like even my relationship with my original with Black Poison, um, he had fixing issues, so I knew that there was no way that I could expect him to see me twice a week. That was just because he's having to see 5 other people. So if I want to talk to him, then I need to make myself available to make that happen. And so when he's off, like I would find ways to go pick him up from work. When he's on, I would just go over there because he's staying with us the second time. To go over there and we would chat, and like we would try to go in groups, and eventually, he get overwhelmed or whatnot, and none of us had a phone at one point. um, but because of that, like the house ended up homophobia, and so I was like I developed relationships with other people because I didn't have a phone.
Okay.
So that made me seek the house. Like I don't know that the house sought. I don't know that the house sought us like that. Like I felt like when we were journeying, it was on us to seek the house. Like you get what you put into the journey. So if your idea of journey is to seek my siblings, to seek my GEDs and my foodies, and the rest of the house is going to seek me, it's like you're waiting for something to happen instead of you being the initiator of your own transformation. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
I understand that. I mean, I think that's weird though.
But I think that's why y'all feel like y'all like the stepchildren, because I don't know that y'all sought the house. I felt like y'all were expecting everybody to just come corral around you. And yes, that happens, but you have to be an active participant in reaching out and being received. And so if you're not reaching them, then of course, if their focus may not have been primarily on you all, because there was a lot going on at the time. But I feel like there are some places where y'all not either realize or acknowledge that you have not invested as much time as you think that you have in the process. Like even the idea of people being uncomfortable, not just you, and I'm not you at all, but the idea that spending the night is an issue, I think is problematic. Like I just find that highly problematic at this point in the journey. Like I think that's simple stuff that probably should have been addressed while y'all were journeying, but for whatever reason, was not. And so now y'all are having to deal with it now. Like, I don't even know. I feel like there are places in y'all's relationship with sisters that y'all are not willing to be honest with one another in some places. Like y'all don't hang out, like it's, I don't think it's very like it's almost like it feels forced when y'all hang out. Like it's not something that judges. I mean, am I correct when I say that?
I mean, okay, let me say this. Throughout the journey, spending the night was not a problem for anybody. I think since we journeyed and crossed and people have been involved in these relationships, then now it's a problem. Because me and Adande would come over. Adande had a fucking key to my house. I had a key to her house. We spent a lot of time together without it being tree related or anything. Like we were best friends. You feel what I'm saying?
Uh, what about thinking about what happened in those relationships? Why aren't those relationships because even if it was Trinidade and Machunike and Zagisa, like I could understand it was like a quickish kind of thing, but it seems as though you and Adande and then you and a kind of relationship, and then the other two are just kind of floating for their own thing.
Chunike and me didn't like each other when we journeyed. We didn't get along at all. We had assignments to spend the night at each other's house. For probably, if we add up all the weeks that we had to do it, probably about 4 to 5 months worth of spending the night at each other's house against our will. Zingisa, I feel like a lot of times she was just disconnected. Just overall disconnected. Like she was there, and I think her connection was more with the other like GEs and Dima. Even as far as when we became Zayrutu, she wasn't there. I mean, not there, but she was like not sure if she wanted to do it, and so it was kind of put on hold. And so, like maybe a couple weeks into the journey, they announced her as Zayrutu and brought her in, but it wasn't like we didn't all get to form a relationship with her. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh, it does.
And so even no, go ahead.
No.
Well, even with that, I just feel like there was always a slight disconnect, and she operated a lot in her preference. So like you would hit Zingisa up and be like, hey, let's do this. And she'd be like, oh, well, you know, I got this photo shoot thing I'm doing, or I'm going to this art class. Or like she was so used to being alone that I think she planned her life, right? And when we would hit her up about doing stuff, she already had plans. But like I said, it's because she was so used to being alone by herself, you know? And as far as, you know, spending the night at her house, I don't know if it was offered during the journey, but I know I wasn't really enthusiastic about that because of the cats and everything else, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think we've hung out at Zengisa's house more now. Like, I've even spent the night at her house maybe when we was in the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? Some time back, maybe I don't know, it was just months ago. Like, I don't ever remember spending the night at Zengisa's house while we journeyed. I remember everybody being in my house. And I remember during the Yerutu process, a lot of us spent a lot of time together. So during the Yerutu process, it was me, Adande, Neferti, Enifo, Dion. They all spent the night in my house, like, and we all spent the night at their house or something like that. Chunike and Zingisa never was on that. And I think too that adds something to it. Whoever I don't want to say that, but I feel like because we walked so hard in Yerutu, by the time we got to Zayrutu, our walk was straight. With me and Adande, should I say. Like, we were already close from Yerutu. I don't really know. Like, even with Achua like I said, her and Adande had a really close relationship. But you remember what she was saying about the thing with her and Adande and Neferti, and how, since it was a secret, Achunike and Adande's relationship suffered. But because I was in on the secret, me and Adande's relationship continued to grow. But I don't know. I just feel like none of us. I don't know. I came up in the time where it was the tree house, the bush house, all that. You remember? I don't know if you remember, but Mombe and them used to stay in Magnolia. It was Mombe, Chitope, a whole bunch of them niggas. And that house was just like the house to go to. I'm serious. Like, if I need to sleep, if I need to go somewhere and sleep and I didn't have nowhere to go, I can go to the bush house. The door stayed unlocked all night long. It just mad people there. And then when I joined Labechi, She's Lisi was Journey and Sondai at the time. His brother Prince was down here. Brandon, aka Jaja, he was down here, and Johnny stayed in one boarding house. And there was only one other person that lived in this boarding house that wasn't into the tree, and that was this girl named Nikki. But she was like dumb cool. She smoked and shit. So like we used to always be over there. So I came up in the era of the tree where everybody's spending the night somewhere. Like where it's always like spending the night type shit. You know what I'm saying? So when Journey had happened, I wasn't impressed about that. Or even now, like I'm not impressed about it. I'm down. I'm down to spend the night whenever, wherever, whoever. That's why even with the thing when Adande said what she said, I was like, shit, we can sleep in the living room.
I mean, I was trying to figure out where did she think going to sleep? In her bed with her girlfriend?
Girl, I don't know. I don't know, man. And that's the weird thing about it to me because, like I said, with the relationship that I've done, I don't know her like that. I don't know her to be a private person or a person you can't, you know what I'm saying, spend the night at her house. Like, I don't know that of her. The Adande I know is an open book. Her house is always open. It was just, like, to me, it seemed like it's almost as if when you date somebody, you turn into them. So if you're dating somebody that don't like people and don't want nobody at your house, then now you becoming this same type of hermit where you don't like people, you don't want nobody at your house, but at the same time, all you want to do is go home and play your game and be butt naked on your couch. I mean, that's cool or whatever, but we played the game at your old house all the time to the point where I would bring my girlfriend over there and she would be like, so I'm about to sit here and watch y'all play the game all night. My thing was, this is my sister. So I see her every day, and I'm not gonna stop seeing her every day just because I'm dating you. That don't even make sense to me. But not everybody think like that, and that's what what I'm coming to. And everybody been walking me on since the whole shit with Adande happened. Like you are the type of person who keeps your family and your siblings first above you make it known to all your girlfriends like, look, this is the type of relationship I got. If you don't want to deal with me, then don't deal with me. Adande is not like that. Adande is like, well, let me know what you can deal with, and then that's what I'll do. You see what I'm saying? And if that's not the case, at least that's how it feels. Because I don't know, man. I'm like totally shocked. I was totally shocked about the whole spending the night thing. Because I just assumed, I don't know, I just assumed that wasn't an issue with her. And I understand, she was like, oh, I did that already, and we journeyed, and then I lived outside of my house in different hotels, and I just want to be at home. I guess I hear that. But the whole staying and traveling to work, that was what you wanted. And right after we journeyed, you got what you wanted. I guess you realize that's not really what you wanted, but that's fine. But I'm trying to figure out still how that has anything to do with me or us spending the night or any of that.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get too much. But I mean, we're going to have to. I feel like once we all are together next weekend, these things can get addressed fully. Nobody can really run anywhere. We can fuss and fight out. But there is another level of walking that I believe is going to be required in order for us to finish by the time we would like to finish.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're doing okay. Like right now, we're at like we're being very consistent with the things we're doing. We are seeing one another. But I think these kinds of things come up when people are working in a space together.
Honey, if it was up to me, I'm gonna tell you the honest God truth. If it was up to me, I would have like a 5-bedroom house and we would all live in it and get this shit over with. That's what I would do.
Of course, that'd be ideal. We just don't have that as an option. So,
Hell, I mean, we could spend a week at everybody's house. I don't give a fuck. Like, I want to get done with this. Like, I want to get, and I'm not saying like I'm over it and I want to get through with it, but I mean, whatever this is that we need to get, I want to hurry up and get it. Like, I don't want to take 2.5 years to get something I could get in a week.
Sure.
Like, I'm just not really with that. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do or what's what. I really don't.
I have to go to class. So, it's been so fun.